up, Finished Moto fans? Bill Wheeler here, and welcome to another episode of Wheelhouse Garage. Today we're in the workshop with 3 British bikes. Now, if you watched last week's episode, the plan was to take this 1968 Cotton Trials bike out on the trail and show you how fun it is to ride an old trials bike on anything you can find, but it's making a little bit of a weird sound, like a whirring sound, and I don't have that much experience with Villiers motor, so I'm going to have the owner of this bike, Alan, check it out before I go and take it out. Don't want to take any unnecessary risks, but I was able to solve the solution of the kind of poor working front brake, which I'm going to share with you in this episode. That also got me working in the shop, and which led me to finish this bike finally. This is the 67 T100C, and it needed some lighting wiring. So I've got a cool product that I feel like is little known to share with you on that. Very simple if you're building a bike like this, where it's kind of a dual sport dirt bike. So I'm going to share that with you. And then of course we have the BSA 441. This is a 1966 first year model, and it's been sitting patiently in the corner of the garage awaiting parts accumulation. So I've got a new, well, old part to share with you that you haven't seen for this bike, and we're going to get started taking off that carburetor, replacing the seat, and getting it looking like the original bike that you would have seen on a BSA showroom in 1966. Sound like a plan? Oh, hold on, we are missing something. Now, although this isn't officially a bike and a beer episode, nothing goes with working on bikes quite like a cold beer. So, nothing too crazy today. Got a Lagunitas Daytime Crisp Session IPA. It's a hot day. Oh yeah. All right, let's get wrenching.
I got started with this Cotton, which had a front brake that wasn't biting hard enough. This is my first time working on one of these front end assemblies, so the order of operations might not be optimal, but I was still able to get everything off. Everything in this assembly was really oily, including the pads. I'm still not exactly sure why that is, but it was apparent that it needed to get cleaned. So I hit it with some brake clean, gave it a thorough wipe down until no residue was showing up on the rag. Time for a test ride. The motor seems to run really well and it feels really strong, but there's this high-pitched whine, and I'm just not sure what it is. Anyway, you can tell by this front dive that the brake is working really well now. On to the next bike, the Triumph 67 T100C. As an off-road guy, lighting systems are, well, annoying. So I really appreciate super simple systems like this one from Electric's World, where you literally just add a regulator to the lines that come off of the stator. This is the wiring diagram. It just doesn't get any simpler than that. One thing to be aware of with this ultra simplified version of the kit is that the headlight brightness will vary with RPMs. Apparently, simply swapping out to LED bulbs can help a lot with this since they require such little power. The same of course with the taillight. Here's the most common and currently available setup to run lighting without a battery. Using an Electrics World kit, it requires one additional piece, item number PP12, and uses a different regulator rectifier, part number RR02. I'll add links to these parts in the description. Alright, time to work on the BSA. There's an electrical junction I did not expect to find. It is pretty sanitary, but I'm not sure if we're going to keep that. Here's a solo seat bracket that I got from Peter over at BSA Unit Singles. Looks like it lines up nicely. You ready for this, folks? An original BSA solo seat for this bike. I was elated to find this gem in one of the boxes in my buddy Alan's parts collection. Now let's see if the holes on the bracket line up with the actual studs on the seat. Somebody made this front bracket for some kind of other application, but I'm going to take it off and use it as a template to mark where the new holes need to go on this other bracket that I also got from BSA Unit Singles. Don't tell anyone I didn't clamp this down. You might notice that the holes are very forward on the bracket. That's just where they ended up when I test fit the seat. Embarrassing moment in 3, 2, 1. Oh. I'll just clean it with this rag that absorbs nothing but oil. Just like a dream. Get this thing up in the air so we can work on the carburetor better. Just a quick shout out to my buddy Jorma for sending me this original 441 skid plate. Just out of the goodness of his heart. It's gonna go on awesome once I get the hardware for it. Thank you, Jorma. Sure, this Mikuni has served this bike well, but in my opinion, it just doesn't belong on here. Alright, let's get a British carburetor back on this bike. There's a lot of very unique parts that go into putting this carburetor back on. So the best thing to do, get yourself a parts catalog and get all the original parts. It's a little spendy, but it's the right way to do it and the parts are still available. went on nicely, but the cable was a little too long, so I decided to add an adjuster on the top of the carburetor. But the ferrule on the cable was a larger diameter than the adjuster, so I had to open it up a bit. Fantastic.
Alright folks, the sun is going down. Got this carburetor on. There's no air filter system because I'm still looking for some parts for that. But I think we're pretty safe in here to go ahead and try to fire this thing up. So, I've got fuel line connected, gas is on. Float bowl looks full. I'm getting a good tickle over here. What do you think? Anyone want to take any bets? Couple of prime kicks, put that ignition on. Oops. Ooh, interesting. You guys, I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much to Jerry over at Ace in Reno for hooking me up with this used carburetor. This is a rare carburetor on a 66 441. What a great accomplishment, you guys. Who says you need a Mikuni to make these things run right? We've got an original Amel monoblock on here. We've got the original seat, thanks to my buddy Alan. This thing is really turning out great. I'm super excited for it. That's all I've got for you today, folks. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and buying t-shirts. We're almost out of shirts. I'm going to put this style on a little break, and I'm working on some new lighter colored shirts for summer with a new design. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you next Saturday with a whole new video. Woo!
Thanks so much for watching that video. Be sure to tune in every Saturday morning for more fun and adventures. There's over 30 motorcycles to check out on the Bike and a Beer series, and we now have t-shirts available for sale. Follow along for some epic adventures in the High Sierra on all types of rare and incredible motorcycles. There's a workshop element to this channel too, as I do a lot of my own mechanical work. I'll share all the tips and tricks I've learned, show you all the tools I use to get it done, and there'll be some exciting new products to promote as well. So join in every Saturday morning, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Thanks.